curse on our village. The curse of Frankenstein.
Was Frankenstein, that your mother was the lightning.
The most dreaded creation of man, the monster of Frankenstein, stalks again. Here is a story completely new. Here is drama completely strange, full of weird suspense. With this great cast, Sir Cedric Hardwicke, Lionel Atwill, Ralph Bellamy, Bela Lugosi, Evelyn Ankers, Lon Chaney, in the gripping tale of a monster the tomb cannot engulf, chains cannot hold.
You're going to give him life?
Yes. Not for the purposes that you think, Igor. I'm giving him another brain.
Is that your shell, husband? Yes, yes.
The villagers are getting out of hand, Doctor. If you expect the protection of my office, you'll have to be frank with me. I think the time's come for a showdown, Doctor.
Spend the night at the Cobweb Hotel. Come into my parlor, please do. In a while, all your cares will be through. There'll be no rent to pay, 'cause you'll be here to stay. Spend the night at the Cobweb Hotel. The register. You'll be very pleased. Newlyweds. Thank you. Now make yourselves at home while I prepare your room. I'll be right back. you're sweet.
Jenny Williams was killed?
Yes. Find something?
Animal tracks.
Whoever is bitten by a werewolf and lives becomes a werewolf himself.
Oh, don't hand me that. You're just wasting your time.
The wolf bit you, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. You wouldn't want to run away with a murderer, would you?
Oh, Larry, you're not. You know you're not.
I killed Bela. I killed Richardson. If I stay here any longer, you can't tell who'll be next.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joining you guys for Season 3, and joining me this evening, as always, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
And Mr. Fresh Rogan.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah.
Let's go! We
That's
made
it.
it to
Season
season 3. Who would have guessed? Who would have thought that we could keep it going? Well, I knew we could keep it going. I'm trying to keep this train rolling as long as I possibly can. Public domain horror movies are gonna every year. There's gonna be a couple more. And, you know, we'll hopefully just be able to continue it on and on. But here we are for Season 3. Super, super, super excited to be bringing a cult classic, a gem of a movie out of the public domain to you guys tonight. Spider Baby. It's awesome. It's a great way to kick off what's going to be a fun season because we're getting into fall. Even though I'm wearing a tank top right now, which as you can see, I mean, we're going to be celebrating Lon Chaney Jr. tonight, so I had to wear my Wolfman tank. But it's kind of
tanked up.
I'm tanked up, but there's a little bit of chill in the air as of late, and this whole season is careening right toward Halloween, so we're primed up for just your Friday nights. We're going to be serving up horror in spades, so get ready for it. I cannot wait. It's gonna be great. Really, yeah. I mean, I am tanked up. Yeah, I mean,
boy, we tanked up.
Season 3, baby.
We're tanked
Season
up.
3,
We're feeling the creep. That fall creep.
That fall creep in the air. Absolutely. A little nip, certainly. And
yeah, the temperature got below like 80, and we are frozen. But yeah,
I got it. I'm on it.
The temp dropped below 80, and I thought, I'm over it. I'm over summer, ready for fall.
Yes.
Let's go. Bonfire, baby.
And you know what I saw in Walmart? They're starting to. I had to go the other day, and they're putting out the Halloween decorations. And It's never too early in my book. If you ask me, I am always ready.
You were not biased.
No. Absolutely absolutely not.
The horror movie enthusiast is not biased in this matter.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I saw they had some cool looking skulls that the jaws were they moved, and I was like, I wanted to buy one and I didn't. I was like, not too early to be out, but maybe a little too early for me to start buying, because if I start buying Halloween stuff now, I just will have no money before we even get to Halloween, and then I'm not going to have a costume for for a big Halloween party, But hey, the best costume is a DIY costume, right? Maybe I'll just whip something up. So I'm super excited. Fall is approaching.
We're feeling the creep. We're loving it.
We are loving it. I am loving it, and this is a great way to celebrate. And if you joined us this past Wednesday for our first minisode of the season, where we're watching The Veil with Boris Karloff, I mean, we've got 2 nights over the next 10 weeks that we are going to be serving up some scares and some laughs, hopefully a couple chuckles,
pulling back the veil.
First season we took that one step beyond. The second season, we were creeping like phantoms, and then now we're pulling back that veil. So we're each season of those minisodes we're digging a little deeper, and it's been a lot of fun. So and I see S Sync is back in the chat. So happy you could join us tonight for this premiere. This is one I can't understate how much I love tonight's movie. I could go on and on and on. And
could
on
you?
And on and on. I really could, but I'm going to
prove
save
it. Prove it. Let's go.
I'm going to save it all for the movie.
So you've had this one in your pocket then?
Well, yeah, and I'll be honest. So, and some of you, if you've been following the show, if you've been keeping score at home, then you know that the lineup has changed from our last episode of season 2, where I said we were going to be watching The Brain That Wouldn't Die. I started to realize that the show is taking on a life of its own. I've become like Dr. Frankenstein. I've created this
it's out of control
thing, because what I realized is what I've done subconsciously in the first 2 seasons was that the first movie of both seasons were movies that when I did a lineup initially, I gave the movies ratings. The first and second season premieres, some of the highest rated movies on my public domain list when I first made it.
And remind us what those movies were.
And that was City of the Dead and Dementia 13. You can find those episodes on the YouTube page. And I love those movies. Those are some of my favorite public domain horror movies. And then what I realized for our finales that we've been doing is we've ended both seasons on a Lugosi film. So I've realized that that's kind of the pattern that's developing, is that for a season premiere, I need to go with a movie that is kind of special to me, that I really like, that is a lot of fun, and that we're going to enjoy. And then for the finale, we're gonna always end it with Lugosi. Why not? He's again one of our most prolific actors.
So what I'm hearing is The Brain That Wouldn't Die is not a good movie.
It's not that it's a bad movie. It's just not like, it's not an 8 or a 9, which is like about as high as my scale. I don't think I have like maybe 110, and we may lead off with that next season actually. So
stick around.
So, yeah, just at least till then, because then there's one film at least that I'm giving a 10, so it's well worth it. But this is one that I think I gave a 9, and I realized I actually was going to put a different movie first, and Cylon is kind of mad at me. He's boycotting right now.
Oh no!
Because I told him initially we were going to do another movie, because every season we've been meeting some of these horror movie actors, and so
in real life we met them.
Well, yeah, you more or less. I mean, yeah, remember Bela Lugosi stole your chair,
right? I didn't get him on camera because I didn't have my webcam at the time, but
we heard his voice, we heard him back there, and it was great. And so tonight again, it's Lon Chaney Jr., who's a big horror movie icon. We're going to talk a lot about him tonight, but it's
yes, what's that? He's here in the studio.
Oh, wait, what? Oh no, I don't know if we can accommodate Lon Chaney. I don't think
he'll He'll be by later tonight.
Oh, okay, good.
He's
Yeah,
on
I
the
was
way.
gonna say we might have to kind of we might have to prep
God.
the set. We might have to hide the alcohol if he comes on the. And that's no.
He heard it. He heard about my OxyContin prescription.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he was ever had a pill problem. I certainly hope not. And we're gonna talk all about Lon Chaney Jr. He had a very interesting career.
We're gonna talk all about his problems.
You know, talk all about it, as we do. But again, we try to learn more context, and I really, again, these guys have very complex stories and very complex lives. So it's.
I apologize. I thought you guys were saying Bela Lugosi was coming back for a return appearance.
Well, I mean, hey, no, if Bela Lugosi was on every episode, I would be thrilled. But
just keep your window open. He'll fly in.
He'll pop in for a bit. Just let him spread his wings, and just if he wants to take a rest in your seat, let him. It's perfectly all right. Evan did it, and he's fine. He didn't get turned into a vampire that we know of. I hope not, Evan.
Why does this drink tonight include human blood, Evan?
Should have known
You
all.
just want that.
Evan's
that,
been sending me all the
metallic taste.
recipes for the next couple weeks, and all the key ingredient in every one of them is blood.
I'm on this high iron diet.
Why does this drink taste like pennies?
It's really, really thick. I don't know why is this so viscous.
It's the grenadine.
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of tonight's drink, if you've been following the show, you know that Evan brings a wonderful cocktail to pair with the evening's film, and it's a little segment which we call.
What were you drinking?
What were you drinking?
What were you drinking? So, tonight's drink is gonna be a fun one. Sometimes I'll admit that whenever I'm digging through the archives, I'm delving through the internet, looking at recipes, I'll come across ones that I, just from the title alone, think, that's it, that's the one. And then afterward I have to figure out, can I actually make this? Is it going to be any good? But I think we've got all three tonight. So tonight's drink is the Spider Cider, which, just great name. Rolls off the tongue. And also kind of autumnal. So this one is made with some cider, of course, some spiced rum, some apple pie spice, which apparently you can't. They just sell it.
They make it just. Oh.
Yeah, they sell it just apple pie spice.
Oh well, I did not know. I just assumed
I think it's just like cinnamon
sugar.
Cinnamon and sugar, maybe.
More than likely.
And then a splash of juice. So we used orange juice, and it looks and kind of smells like apple pie. So we're gonna give this a try.
Again, I mean, it's like Evan said, it's kind of it's an ideal fall beverage, and as you know, we're getting to it, and
it looks like if baked apples was a cocktail.
It does actually. I mean, there's the spices are literally just floating in the whole thing, and it looks like baked apples. Well, this looks delicious.
So we're gonna try this. Happy almost fall, everyone.
Cheers, and cheers to season 3, everybody.
Cheers to season 3.
Blink.
It's not bad.
Ooh, the sweetness and the cinnamon comes in a little bit later. Moment on lips, forever on hips is joining us. Long time no see, friend. Good of you to join us. We're just enjoying Evan's little cocktail, the Spider Cider, and yeah, this is really, really good. I don't know.
I'm not sure if it's the orange juice that's maybe. It doesn't quite taste like apples to me.
No, the orange juice definitely gives it more of a tang that maybe like more like a sour apple, I guess. But it's
Yeah, I guess this one would really depend a lot on the kind of cider, because if the cider is more tart versus more sweet, that's going to
Well, and I think, and you know, it's like the apple pie spices always come in after the, you get that little bit of rum, you get the, like you're saying, the orange, and then you get a little sweet, a little cinnamon like aftertaste.
It's good. I think I'll have a couple of these tonight for sure.
It's definitely a two drink minimum night
2 drink
for
minimum
sure.
Tonight.
Absolutely.
So everyone at home can follow along. And also, I was in the store today and I thought, what better way to kick off almost fall than with some pumpkin ale.
Pumpkin ale.
So I've got enough to share.
Thank you, sir. Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah. That's great.
I love some pumpkin ale.
Heck yeah,
it's
man.
All
right. I'm definitely. Oh man, we are all fall up in here right now, y'all. Come
break
on.
out the pumpkin spice.
All fall. Is this twist top or does it no, you got the
This stream is white girled up now.
It really
Let's
is.
go.
We're pumpkin
going
spice
basic.
bitches.
Everybody get your hydroxide out.
Yep. Go ahead. Light us up, chat. Give us shit. We deserve it. We're basic.
Basic? No, Evan, no. We're not going to allow that to slide. No, get the hydroxide out.
Okay, I was wondering if anybody was going to call me out.
No. Not allowed. I have my bar of soap over here, so.
Jesus Christ. Well, this drink is delicious. This beer, I thank you. Very nice surprise. Which, I'm going to try it now, actually. Oh, yeah. I love a good, right around fall, right when it starts to get cold, you get a good craft pack of beer that is fall themed, and it is, oh man, it's a great way to unwind and spend your evenings. And again, paired along with a cheesy old public domain horror movie, then all the better. And I mean, hey, it's that's essentially that is what we're doing. We're kicking it, enjoying these nice drinks, and gonna watch pretty interesting horror comedy from 1967. And S-Sync.
Got a link.
Got a link. What is this? I'm gonna click on it. What is this? Oh no, I haven't watched it yet. I'm very behind on my queue, and I haven't watched. Probably should have.
You
watched
haven't
it.
watched Inside? Oh my god.
No, I haven't
so
watched
good.
it. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm honest with my yes.
Yeah, normally Garrett's just lying all the time.
Oh yeah, I've
He's
seen
being
that.
honest right now.
Seen that. Definitely. It's so good.
For this one time, I'll be honest with you guys. Haven't seen it.
I'm on camera, so the pressure to be honest is never higher.
You've got this big light shining down
Yeah,
on your face.
I gotta be a man of honor,
You've got this drip of water falling constantly on your head.
Right, the creaky, the leaky roof and the creaky floor, and because we're in a dilapidated shack. That's what the studio is.
I'm on my way with the car battery.
Right, exactly. Where it's out in the middle of nowhere, completely surrounded by the woods. Not very good cell service. But we said great place to build a studio. So fits the atmosphere of the show.
The acoustics out here are insane.
It's just unbelievable. You just don't get anything like it anywhere else. Unbeatable. This drink is delicious. And this movie is, in a word, delicious as well. Yeah, no. Yeah, I would maybe say that. I mean, again, this movie is a horror comedy. It is as tongue-in-cheek but at the same time it manages to be kind of legitimately scary and unsettling and kind of frightening at times. And it is basically about, it's kind of in the traditions of old Dark House movies, which is a bunch of people getting stuck at a creepy mansion with a bunch of weirdos who are up to something. And that's essentially what we've got going on here, but the weirdos in question are actually kind of a sweet family. And they're
How weird.
Chaney was always good at playing sympathetic monsters, Lon Chaney Jr., and he's not necessarily playing a monster tonight. He's more like a caretaker to monsters, which is kind of interesting considering this is on the end of his career. This is older Lon Chaney Jr.
He got promoted to supervisor.
Yeah, well, he should have been, chief emeritus of horror by this point. I mean, so the funny thing about this movie is it was released in 1967, but it was actually shot in 1964. There are all these problems with the release, which I'll talk about a little more once we get started. But this movie has a very interesting backstory, a very interesting cast and crew. So it got a lot of fun, little interesting tidbits for this movie, which I'm excited to share with you guys. Some familiar faces, other movies that we've watched on the show or will watch. So the beauties of the public domain. It's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon up in here. I mean, it's literally, all it takes is a Lon Chaney Jr. or a Bela Lugosi or a Karloff, and you can connect people in just one movie. I mean,
it's so easy. It's like taking candy from a spider baby.
Haha. Well, and I thought about to celebrate tonight bringing into the studio a box of baby spiders, but my spider handler, he's on vacation, and
no, you should. No, what you mean is you drop the box and now you can't find the spiders.
Well, I can't. Well, if my spider handler finds out, then I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. So let's just say that I decided not to do the bit, and I don't have the baby spiders, and they aren't loose in the studio in Evan's corner, and that maybe was not a good bit idea on my part, but if I've got a couple EpiPens. I don't know if you're allergic to spider bites, but it's there might.
It's fine. They're just black widows. He'll be okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that's the thing. S-Sync is he's got his bag on the ground, so I do worry that a couple could creep in there, and so I would look
and hitchhike their way home
for baby spiders. There are baby spiders in this movie tonight, so it's very appropriate. That's why I wanted to bring that. I wanted to do a whole baby spider. I wanted to bring them and show you guys on the show, but now if they make an appearance, I mean, who knows? They may, but if I had to make an emergency, if I had to step out and make an emergency call to my spider wrangler, then
we've got a spider guy.
We have a Spider-Man.
I mean, I know that he's gonna charge me like extra out the wazoo for an emergency call while he's on vacation, but again, I'm not really too versed in how to handle spider bites, so we'll see. So I think to get our minds off the baby spiders,
let's keep talking about baby spiders.
I think that we
come on.
How many spiders do you think actually are in a house at any given time?
Oh, bro.
Probably at least 50. At least 50.
At least 50, if not way more.
Yeah, they're probably crawling on you when you're asleep and stuff.
I mean, how many spiders do you eat?
Not even eat, you just inhale while you're passed out in your mouth.
They just crawl down your throat while you're sleeping. That's why you wake up kind of coughing sometimes. That's a spider.
Could you imagine you just cough up a baby spider? Horrifying.
I've done it. Yeah, it happens.
Give you guys nightmares. That's
what are these spiders looking for in our mouths?
Food, dude. Leftover food in between our teeth.
Ah, okay.
The
all those flies that are just kind of stuck between your
The
teeth.
ideal place for them to live is down in your stomach, and what they do is they build a web all across it, so all that the food that you eat, it drops down into the web, and then they eat it, and they live like a parasite, and they just get real big, and they bust out of your gut like one of the chest busters from Alien.
Maybe,
but spiders, they never get that far. It doesn't. They try, but it doesn't. They always die.
Maybe somehow.
Sometimes.
Maybe somehow. At some point, spiders got a hold of a copy of The Old Woman Who Swallowed a Fly, and they think that that's just everybody.
Right. Yeah. They just think that people want to eat bugs.
They can read really fast. They have like 8 eyes.
Speed readers.
So they speed read that story and then pass it along to their children.
I've heard that. I've read that about facts about spiders pages. Speed readers. Absolutely. All right, well, enough spider talk. I think we're going to get enough spider action in this film, which again, 1967, and it's a horror comedy, so definitely don't take this seriously. It is ridiculous.
I was going to take this like a documentary. I didn't realize.
Know, some people who watch old things that are more inclined to modern movies can be very critical of old things. It's like, you're not supposed to take it seriously, bro.
You're not supposed to look at the camera, man.
We made this movie ironically, guys.
And I mean, really, there was a lot that went into this to kind of, to me, it bridges a gap for classic horror and new horror, and in a very funny way. So I'm excited to share this movie with you guys. I think, it's a cult classic, and I think that it's been an influence on a lot of other filmmakers and other films that came after it. So anything before we get into it, boys?
Hasta la vista, spider baby.
All right, well, Fresh, if you have it queued up.
I do.
All right. Then, without further ado, we are going to get into Spider Baby right now.
Yikes.
Yikes. No yikes.
Dreams and moans and bats and bones and teenage monsters in haunted homes, a ghost on the stair, a vampire's bite. Better beware, there's a full moon tonight.
Is this Schoolhouse Rock?
Dude, you gotta think, this is post-Monster Mash time, so the novelty horror song is a big deal right now, man. Still cashing in.
Spiders creep and crawl, boys and ghouls having a ball. Frankenstein, Dracula, and even the Mummy are sure to end up in somebody's tummy.
Lon Chaney Jr. played all of those characters at different times throughout his career. And he was one of the few people who played most of the monsters. That's why he gets maligned a lot for different reasons, but he's...
Take a fresh rodent, some toadstools and
I'll
weeds,
get
and
it.
add an old owl and the unknown she breeds. Mix in 7 legs
It's
from
a whole thing.
It's a whole
piece,
thing.
and then you're all set for a cannibal feast.
So, the writer-director of this movie, Jack
Sit
Hill,
round a fire with this cup of brew, a fiend and a
directed some other
werewolf on
movies
each
that we
side of
watched
you. This
on
cannibal
the
orgy
stream
is
already,
strange to
parts of those
behold, and the
movies.
maddest story.
It sounds familiar. Who's that?
So he directed some extra scenes in Da Vinci at 13, some extra scenes in The Terror, and he did Karloff scenes in Snake
Dictionary.
Peculiar Diseases.
Everyone needs one of these on the coffee
Is that a
table.
classification? Peculiar.
So called because its only known occurrence is among the descendants of one Ebenezer Mary, a progressive age regression beginning about the 10th year and continuing steadily throughout the victim's lifetime. It is believed that eventually the victim of the Mary syndrome may even regress beyond the prenatal level.
It's a Benjamin Button
reverting to a
disease.
pre-human condition of
Yeah, but
savagery
if
and
then he
cannibalism.
turned into a cannibal.
Huh.
Many authorities
Benjamin
do
Button,
not
but he's a
accept the
cannibal.
existence of the Mary syndrome.
Makes sense.
Incredible, but true.
Well, they never said that Benjamin
Nevertheless.
Button wasn't a cannibal.
I know. Only too well.
Make a
Of
lot of
course,
sense.
there's no Mary syndrome
Think
anymore.
about it.
It was extinguished forever from the human race that fateful day 10 years ago.
To explain this, we got to go back a ways.
Back.
Maybe we should start at the beginning.
Probably wondering how I got here.
So this guy's an actor named Mantan Moreland, and he was actually kind of popular in the 30s and 40s.
Can you tell me where the Mary House is? I said the Mary House.
Turn it off.
If there is any such place, we don't know anything about it. Come on, get...
He acted in a lot of like mystery comedies in the 30s and 40s, and he had played a lot of sidekicks, but he also was in features where, for African American audiences, where he played the star. He was, but as the civil rights movement took hold of his career, kind of, because he played a lot of stereotypical, he played a lot of stereotypical roles, and was kind of associated with stereotypes, unfortunately, which is kind of why he's being used here, but it's still in a kind of a film, like a film in joke almost. He's very much a comedian.
What is he? Is he a mailman? What is he doing?
Yeah, I think he's credited as the messenger.
So you're saying like they're kind of making fun of the trope by doing this?
In a way, because you'll see. I mean, that's right. He kind of like he did a lot of mystery comedies where he gets scared. His bit was like getting scared, and so they're kind of making fun of that here.
But you could have driven in, right? It's a very long driveway.
Hey, well, I mean, maybe he doesn't want it to get stuck. At least he has.
That's true.
I guess his bike broke after he opened the gate.
Did it break? Oh, yeah, I guess it did.
Looks like
right.
it broke.
It did. You're right. Very true.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's quite.
Nice angle.
Yeah, the cinematographer, I watched a documentary today about the making of this, and he was just he said that was the hardest thing to shoot, was the house, to try to get the angles and stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like that one particular shot.
Well, that might have been. I mean, he's just said it was really difficult. Wait, Fresh, what's the Bryan Center?
Anybody home?
The abandoned.
Oh, that abandoned facility?
Yeah. That someone burned down.
That would be a great place to shoot a horror movie.
It honestly would. You might see a real ghost.
Yeah.
Well, apparently this house was like the original owner was like a judge who wrote all these occult books. And the house wasn't being lived in at the time that they shot this, but now it's a United States historical landmark. This house.
Where's it at?
Los Angeles.
Hello.
Sorry. I just imagine this big sprawling city and then like this overgrown house right in the middle.
Yeah, it's just on like a hill. It's the only thing on the hill.
Yeah.
Caught a big fat bug right in my spider web.
Is that the spider baby?
Now the
Yep.
spider gets to
Actually,
give the
yes.
bug a big sting.
Holy shit.
Ah.
Virginia, are you crazy? Now look what you've done. Bad. Bruno's going to hate you.
Yeah, she is the Spider Baby. But this Spider Baby was not the original title. The original title was Cannibal Orgy.
Wow. Okay.
Or the maddest story ever told. And then when it got out of the director's hands, the people that ended up distributing it later changed the title to Spider Baby, and he loved it. He said that's the best title for it, Spider Baby.
Okay, great.
But it went through a lot of different. Yeah, he later on kind of wasn't happy about. He's like Cannibal Orgy, and other people were like, I'm surprised Lon Chaney Jr. accepted a script. The title Cannibal Orgy.
Yeah.
But that's a lyric that he sang in the theme song, though, was he says, this cannibal orgy is mad to behold, or something like that.
I can't imagine a movie coming out nowadays titled Cannibal Orgy.
No, that would be pretty lofty expectations for what that movie should be. You would hope it'd be very
I mean, I think that Cannibal Orgy is probably closer to the maddest story ever told.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sensational.
He put that moniker on there because apparently at the time there was a big biblical epic that came out called The Greatest Story Ever Told. So
Virginia
was his thing on it. But the poster, it says whatever happened to Spider Baby. So the distributors, I guess, were trying to make some kind of whatever happened to Jake. Here's the man himself, Lon Chaney Jr.
I don't recognize him without all the hair.
Are you sure this is him?
Yeah, he doesn't look quite like this as much.
Bruno, Virginia hurt somebody real bad. You ought to hate her.
Elizabeth, how many times have I told you it's not nice to hate?
This Grey Garden spinoff is strange.
Essentially, that's what we're working with here.
One time I leave them alone. And now this.
Kill the mailman.
The one time.
Elizabeth, I trusted you. I left you in charge.
It's not my fault. I didn't do it. She did it. She was playing spider. You should hate her.
No.
Kids.
I left you in charge. Virginia! Virginia, you come here right now.
Ralph!
Ralph.
Ralph, we're home now. Ralph.
She ain't got the suicide doors on the whip.
Apparently it's a Duesenberg, whatever a Duesenberg is.
That's what Carter Peter Schmidt drives.
Yep.
I think that's Ralph.
So Ralph is played by Sid Haig, who I don't know if you guys know Sid Haig, but he was in House of a Thousand Corpses, and he was a Rob Zombie favorite. He's in a lot of Rob Zombie. He was in all those House of a Thousand Corpses movies, like the sequel.
What year was this?
This was shot in 64, released in 67.
Virginia, now you stay right there. You don't sit down. Sit down.
Yes, Hips. You know what I'm talking about. He's in House of a Thousand Corpses. He's Captain Spaulding in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Now, children,
he's been in a lot of movies.
I want to tell you something, and I want you to listen very, very carefully. You remember last time when those two children climbed over the wall, and Virginia...
It sounds like there's a train going by in the background.
Well, that got people to wondering about us. And that's bad. Your daddy wouldn't like that, Virginia.
Well, he's almost supposed to look like a baby
be here all
because
the time.
He's bald and
you know that I
expressive.
have to take Ralph into the city to the doctor once in a while. And Virginia, you were supposed to mind your sister. You were not supposed to play Spider anymore. Now you never can play Spider again. Oh, Ralph.
Oh, you're grounded.
What have you got there?
Something that man had.
Ralph, give it to me.
Carl, that kills people.
Thank you, Ralph.
And that's the thing. Chaney is just like he's tries to be very righteous and good with these children, even though they're doing horrible things.
Something bad, isn't it?
How many times do I have to tell you, just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad?
Must be something very bad.
That's optimism right there.
Nothing is very bad.
It isn't?
He's going to come here and bring other people.
Daddy wouldn't like that. What other people?
They want to become your legal guardians. As the only other known surviving heirs of the estate of Titus W. Murray.
Isn't that Daddy?
On the 14th of... Today's the 14th.
Oh shit.
Now, children, we've got to keep some secrets today.
This is like Dexter almost.
I mean, you gotta think it's when you start out with a murder, like that's the first thing you get plot-wise. You're like, all right, we're in it.
We're already way up
going. Which again, Jack Hill said the reason he used Mantan Moreland was because he felt like the audience wouldn't expect him to be killed like that so early. Because again, he's a comedy figure, and he maybe just get scared and run off, but he's brutally murdered. And then Lon Chaney Jr. disposes of his body in a dumbwaiter.
I think he's a pretty good waiter. I don't have to make fun of him.
Dumb waiter. What are we classic vaudevillian comedians over here? Dumb waiter.
Dumb waiter? Why is he dumb?
I thought he was the bee's knees.
But bees don't have knees, see? That's her stash box.
Pretty much.
Yeah. What do you want that for? Hurry up. I want to watch Uncle Nick. You're not supposed to.
Yeah, Marcia.
Hey! Look out!
I'm coming, Uncle Ned.
I don't know why he's peeking over his shoulder. I guess he's worried they could walk in literally any minute. Better not open this giant trap bookcase while people are entering the house. That wouldn't look respectable.
I'm coming, Aunt Clara. Aunt Martha. I'm coming, Uncle Ned.
Aunt Clara. Aunt Martha, Uncle Ned.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Who's drunk?
Who's
Really,
drunk?
Emily? I mean, I wish you'd kind of...
Dear God, dude, what the
Like
fuck?
that, you may feel free to take a trolley.
Now, wait just a minute. This was not my idea. I've never heard of the Mary family. What is that?
And she's just calmly driving very slowly.
We gotta keep the camera in focus. You gotta go real
Remember that it
slow.
was not my idea.
That was
okay?
like an airplane pit.
Of course not, darling. You don't have
Looks like
ideas, baby Peter, brother.
So this woman is an actress named Carol Omar, who big classic horror and public domain fans will know
What
her
in the
from
world
House
makes
on
you think
Haunted
this is the
Hill.
right road?
She plays Vincent Price's conniving wife.
This place is so fancy it doesn't have an address.
This is
The mailman was even like, do you guys know where the Mary E. house is?
Put your name out front of your own house. You could really open yourself up to
So,
some bad apples.
this is it.
I don't see any sign of, what's his name? The lawyer.
Obviously, he hasn't arrived as yet. The caretaker here.
He's
probably went
just
to
gonna
meet
sit in
him
the
a horse
car
and
and be
buggy.
lazy.
I'm not getting out till I know that we're actually
He took a quick
going
look
inside.
around the driveway and was like, I don't see him.
Nope.
Might as well go on up.
They'll be along any minute. Why
Door's
don't
not
we,
locked. I might as well just go inside.
What's the matter,
That's
Peter?
the law. You can just walk in.
Well, I just don't think it's,
Chicken.
just right go barging in on somebody that you're about
Yeah.
to sue.
Oh, just remember, we're trying to
I would be like
avoid
Peter.
that
I'd be
expense.
chicken. I'd say, yo, I'm not just
If
going in
possible.
somebody's
Well-
house without.
Yeah, roll the window up. It's getting kind of chilly in here. That's so stupid. Bum, 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 bum.
I'm like anxious. I think it's the music. Throws the door
Oh,
open.
the window's open. Guess I'll just let myself
What happened? You saw a ghost, right?
Don't be funny. There was an awful...
Honey, I can't hear you. Roll the window down.
Well, let's not have a complete double duck fit.
Yeah, that is on her.
Dear God. How many minutes of this?
I think he means that you open the
Yes. What's going on here? Why have we stopped?
They're blasting up ahead, sir.
They're what?
Blasting, sir, for the new highway.
Oh. Well, better wait it out, I suppose.
Lon Chaney looks
sir.
like
They won't be long, sir.
older Tom Hanks.
Shocker.
Older, fatter Tom Hanks.
What's the name of the guy on Top
Bruno.
Gear?
Just plain Bruno, sir.
Top Gear.
Oh my God, the British guy.
I want to tell you I appreciate your cooperation in this matter.
Only we had the information of the world at our fingertips.
I guess we'll never know.
Cooperation, sir?
Yeah, oh well.
Well, yes, to tell you the truth, I was fully prepared to avail myself of the services of a marshal, should it be necessary. Well, thanks to your cooperation, it isn't. I appreciate that, and I'll do my best to see that you're not forgotten.
Forgotten, sir? I don't quite understand.
Well, in the disposition of the estate, I firmly believe that so many years of faithful service should not go unrewarded, no matter how ill-advised.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Bruno, I'd like to ask a few questions.
His Hitler stash.
You don't mind.
Very well, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Now, it's my understanding that for the past several years you have been the sole custodian of the 3 children of the late Titus W. Murray. Is that correct?
As you say, sir, for many years.
And that these same 3 children have never been allowed the benefits of any sort of formal schooling.
Oh, no, sir. The master wouldn't have allowed that.
And professional medical care?
Oh, on the contrary, sir. I assure you there have been regular and frequent visits.
You mean they're not well?
Well, as well as could be expected, sir. You see, they're not ordinary children.
Well, I'm sure we can all agree to that, Bruno, but nevertheless...
You see, they're, well, you might call them retarded.
Retarded?
Yikes.
Well, I should think
Yikes.
so. Nearly full-grown and never a day of school.
Oh, sir, I don't think you understand, Mr. Shocker.
I'm afraid you don't understand, my dear fellow. There are properly qualified institutions for the care of the deprived.
We need it.
Especially when there are substantial estates to be administered. Frankly, I find the whole affair rather shocking. I may add, there are proper judicial remedies for such abuses.
Drop the mic.
So both of the people in the back seat were in Dementia 13. The woman...
I don't think the master would like
She's the bride. She's like the main female lead.
Buddy, let's get this car out of here.
Not the blonde lady who gets axed, but the other lady. And then the guy was the poacher who got killed. Sorry, what'd you like?
I like that they learned about the road blast and not to drive through it from the previous movie we watched.
Wait.
Oh, wasn't it from Phantom Creeps?
It's some creeps, yeah.
Yes, yes, right.
They're learning. They're learning.
And
Can't just drive through, plow through a barricade.
Good to see you, my boy. Petey, this is my secretary, Miss Moore.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Miss Moore. How do you do?
Hi. Get the rest of the Schlager. Let's go in and take a look at the place.
Oh, yes, I've been wasting the children too long already.
I don't have the dock.
Follow me,
Yeah,
and I'll
I do.
show you where to park your machine. But if I may ask a favor, please, please treat the children
2706.
tactfully. You see, they're not accustomed to strangers, and they might act wild if encouraged.
And that is going to take us to our first break. So, about 27, 28 minutes in, already had a pretty gruesome
Got a body.
You got a body, got a weird family, got Lon Chaney Jr., trying to keep everything together, kind of working on his toes like an improv master right now, not expecting these people to come visit and try to basically take these these
these sweet, beautiful, loving children away.
Yeah, not, you know, no problems at all, no troubles, no issues, just very sweet. And you know what? Actually, just take them. You should just take them. Just see what happens.
These very imaginative children.
Set them loose into the world and just see what the possibilities are. See what they could do. Wouldn't it be something? I mean, it is. I mean, I think it's already pretty wild plot, you know, like we are like at that was a perfect place to take a break because, you know, we're about to get into it when we get back. I mean, this, you know, I feel like we've just scratched the surface with this family, which, what are your impressions so far of the married children? You know, Ralph is certainly the most affected right now.
Right, so what are the other two's names?
So there's Virginia. She was the one who was playing Spider. She's the Spider Baby. And then, what's the other one? Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
And, yeah. Why do you ask?
I was just trying to keep them straight.
Yeah, it is a little difficult.
Yeah, I like it. I think you could make a sitcom with just these kids.
Well, it's funny. They're very good actors, which is interesting because the one playing Elizabeth, her name's Beverly Washburn. She was actually a child actress, and she had done a lot of stuff up to this point. But the girl who's playing Virginia, Jill Banner, this was her first movie ever. She was like 18 or maybe younger. I don't know. Apparently, she lied about her age. That's what Sid Haig said in the documentary I watched today. She lied about her age to get the part. I don't know if that's true.
As in, she said she was.
I don't know if she
21
said
or something.
I don't know if she said she was older. I don't know how old she actually was, but what I read was that she was 18. And you know, they're both, I mean, yeah, they play these sisters very, like, they play off each other very well.
Yeah,
like
it is kind of convincing. They're acting like little shits, like kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though they definitely, like, you can tell that they don't look, you can tell that they're older than children, right? Like, but that they're wearing kind of like, it's clothes that seem like there must be children's, right? It's like very.
Right, yeah.
I think that sort of adds to it, honestly.
It
does. Like they're
does.
supposed to be like, you know, underdeveloped.
It absolutely does, and I think that's what's so weird about just the whole concept of like. I don't know how Jack Hill even came up with this idea of these. These kids who have this disease where they're basically regressing backwards until they become cannibals. And here comes some people to, like, try to take them away, and they're spending the night in the house. And what kind of mayhem is about to happen. And Lon Chaney Jr. is just kind of, like, you know...
He's just making the best of it.
He's just over all the proceedings. Like, he knows this is going to go horribly, but he's just trying. He wants to try to get through it. Thinks like we can get over this hump. We can do it. And, you know, I mean, I think he's already kind of played. I don't know how you guys feel about Chaney so far, but I mean, I feel like he's kind of shown some range. And I think his character is just a well-written character anyway. Because from the moment you meet him, he's like, don't say hate, don't say something's bad. Don't say these things. Like, that's,
yeah,
you know.
it's interesting how just the juxtaposition of that, and then he's also covering up his body.
Yeah, he's sticking this mine shaft or dumbwaiter to these you know, which I don't know if y'all heard him yelling down names like as he was sending the body down, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, you'll figure out more what that's about, but essentially, I mean, Lon Chaney is just the glue that holds this family together. It's certainly when it comes to, you know, Chaney and family, It's very interesting because Lon Chaney Jr. Was the son of the most famous actor of the 1920s, Lon Chaney Sr. Of course, like, he was the original Lon Chaney. Lon Chaney Jr. did not like going by the name Lon Chaney at all.
It wasn't his actual name, was
No,
it?
his actual name is Creighton Chaney, and when he got into movies at Creighton. Creighton. And so
like
when
Clayton, but Creighton.
Yeah, like Leighton but Creighton. And so when he first got into movies after his father's death, that was what his name, because he originally was not a plumber, but he did some kind of trade, had his own business for a while before he got into acting. Then his father died and he got into acting under the name Creighton Chaney, and then there was a lot of pressure from the studios and from agents to go by Lon Chaney Jr. So he went by Lon Chaney Jr. And then by the time he got to Universal, they said, just go by Lon Chaney. We're just going to call you Lon Chaney. So he, in the 40s, he was the big horror guy at Universal. In the 30s, it was Karloff and Lugosi. And then in the 40s, it was all Lon Chaney. Chaney played Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, the Mummy. He did it all. And yes, Creighton Toll Chaney. Yes, that's right. And yeah, and
what a name!
I wouldn't want to go by that. I would rather go by Lon Chaney.
Well, and I mean, they just have him and his father had a very interesting relationship, and he just came from a very interesting family. Like, Lon Chaney Sr. is just a very interesting guy. We will learn more about him, but not necessarily tonight. But Lon Chaney Jr. kind of grew up in his father's shadow, and even though in the 40s he was the big horror movie guy at Universal, he still didn't always feel comfortable, using the name Lon Chaney to be this big horror movie star. And he eventually, by the time the 50s and the 60s got around, he played more character parts. He wasn't getting... Universal stopped using him because Lugosi was missing out on roles in the 40s that they were given to Chaney. Like, Lugosi wanted to play Son of Dracula, even though he played Dracula. Lugosi wanted to play Son of Dracula. Lugosi didn't get to do that because they cast Chaney. And that's a wonderful movie. And Chaney, it's on Tubi, by the way. And Chaney is... Some people say he's miscast because, again, some people have a bias against Lon Chaney Jr. for, a number of reasons. One of the reasons is they, I mean, I think, I'm sure did many inappropriate things, as far as old-timey actors, but at the same time, I am a Tubi shill. He was also an alcoholic, and he battled alcoholism, through his career a lot, and there was a debate about whether or not he was drinking during this movie. I don't think he was. Some of the other actors said no. Lon seemed sober, but the cinematographer said, I think he was putting vodka in oranges. That's what.
In oranges?
Yeah, because he said that some crew member came up to him one day and said, Lon's off of the alcohol. He loves oranges. And so the cinematographer just hypothesized that he was putting vodka or putting some kind of alcohol in the oranges, which I don't know.
That feels like a little bit of a stretch.
I don't believe that, but that is
there are easier ways to hide vodka.
That is what this guy said in the documentaries. I don't know if that's true, but it was it was interesting because a lot of people said that he was a delight the people in this movie said he was a delight to be around during the making of this movie, but I know that he was having a hard time. He was in some not great movies around this time. Again, he wasn't getting roles like tonight's role where he's center stage. He got roles like the ones that we're going to see in the trailers for the break. And the first one's for a movie called The Alligator People. And you'll see Chaney in the trailer. And it's a supporting role. It's not a big role. He's not playing the alligator man or an alligator person. He's playing an angry Cajun man. And it's all these weird side parts that he started playing in the 40s and 50s. He was never the monster, or he was very rarely the monster. And The second trailer we're going to see is for a movie called Witchcraft, which is a British film, and he plays a warlock. And it's weird to see him in a British movie surrounded by British people because he's so American. But
he's too American.
He's too American for all those Brits. But it's a fun movie. I really, I've seen it a couple times, and I enjoy it more than Alligator People. But we're going to see both of those trailers, and then when we come back, we're going to get into the exciting middle of Spider Baby. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Next week's cocktail is going to be oranges soaked in vodka.
Inside this strange, forbidding plantation, on the edge of the death-laden bayous, there is a horror beyond belief. A scientist turns his cobalt rays on the revolting, scaly monarchs of the swamps to transform men into hideous, living gargoyles, whose faces must be forever hidden from human sight.
He didn't have to hit him. Quickest, simplest way, Doctor. But these are people. You don't handle them like animals.
Beverly Garland as the unwelcome visitor, haunted by the fear that the man she loves has become one of them.
What are you doing? I'm not leaving here, Mrs. Hawthorne, until I get the answers to the questions that brought me here. What have you done with my husband?
Lon Chaney as the hook-armed, hate-maddened Cajun.
I'll kill you, alligator man! Just like I'd kill any four-legged gator!
Suspense that will clutch you like quicksand. Pulling you down into bottomless depths of suffocating horror.
Vanessa Whitlock, born 1595, condemned 1630, and buried alive as a witch.
Where did you get that?
This? We found it pinned to a window curtain in Forrester's office.
It's a witch's charm. A devil doll.
Lon Chaney stars as Morgan Whitlock, inheritor of the secrets of the mystic cult.
Vanessa will be angry.
Vanessa?
Yes. She is coming to us. You will see her tonight yourself. At the Sabbath.
On the night of the witch's Sabbath, the Coven of 13 gathers for the Black Mass of Death. Wherever the unwary sleep, beware the terror of the witch's curse. Wherever the infirm struggle for life, beware the doom of the living dead.
And we are back. So that was the trailer for The Alligator People and Witchcraft, which were both, I think, distributed by 20th Century Fox. I think Lizard People was like 59, and then Witchcraft was 64. And they're both really ridiculous movies. Alligator People's interesting because we believe that Cylon's like doppelganger is cast in that movie as an alligator handler. We caught the movie on TV once, and we were watching it on the big screen TV. There's like 4 guys wrestling an alligator, putting it on a gurney, and we look at one of these guys, or I'm looking, and I like pull out my phone. I'm like, this guy looks exactly like Cylon. Like
Circa
zoom
what
in,
age? Like now?
Like at that time, which was like 23. He had glasses. He had like that crew cut, like buzz cut, like skinny, real skinny. Like this is like almost 18 to 20-year-old Cylon. Like he was wearing just mannerisms, like his body. It just looked, everything looked like Cylon. It was nuts. We're like, this guy must be like one of our long lost relatives or something, because it's uncanny. And it was.
Gotta get the DNA test.
But I really, that's like the only part that I've really seen consistently is like the middle. I've always caught it on TV. I've never seen it beginning to end. I don't think I've seen Witchcraft, but both of those I've caught on Fox Movie Channel. Or
Wouldn't you know if they're also on Tubi?
Well, they are. Well, Witchcraft is, but it's a terrible copy. It's an awful copy. I do not.
And if you sign up for Tubi with code ScreamStream today, you'll save 10%. Weirdly enough,
I do not recommend watching it on Tubi because the quality's awful. It's like ripped from a VHS. But
hey, Garrett, we're trying to get the sponsor here. Don't badmouth Tubi.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I just gotta hang on. My phone's ringing.
Oh,
it's Tubi.
Is it Tubi? Oh, okay.
Oh,
perfect.
no.
Okay, we're gonna get. Okay, perfect.
We
All right.
lost it.
We did it. Well, guys, we did
Tubi's
it.
pulling out.
Well, I hope Tubi's not pulling out. We need their support.
Yeah, we want Tubi to fucking. Never mind.
We need their seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't pull out, Tubi.
Don't pull out, Tubi. Come on, we need you. No. But yeah, I mean, so Lon Chaney was kind of relegated to kind of second fiddle during the 60s. He really didn't get a meaty role after Spider Baby, in my opinion. I don't think that Hillbillies in a Haunted House really provides one with the opportunity to shine. And because that was like, that was one of many terrible movies that Lon Chaney did toward the end of his career. He also did a lot of westerns, like a lot of bit roles in westerns, which were fine. They were like low budget westerns, but it was steady work for him. But his horror roles really kind of declined after his Universal days, which was, pretty much to the late 40s. So.
What kind of character were they casting him in westerns as?
Bartenders and retiring sheriffs. Like, he was in High Noon. Like, he's in a lot of, like, you go find him. He's been in a lot of prominent westerns. Like, Lon Chaney has had some again, it's all character parts. And I think he liked that. I think he preferred that as opposed... Because, again, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but his career really got big from playing Lenny in Of Mice and Men.
Of course.
I think he started on the stage, and then he did the movie that came out in 1939 that was nominated for Academy Awards, and he wasn't, but the movie was. I think it was nominated for Best Picture for 1939, which was the year of movies. That was like Gone with the Wind and Wizard of Oz and all these. Yeah, it was like
what a year for movies.
Yeah, 1939 was considered like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, like all of these classic movies. And
I think Men in Black 1.
Yeah, Men in Black 1. And, and then in there you had Of Mice and Men with him and Burgess Meredith as George. And, Lon Chaney...
They beat Men in Black 1.
They did. They did beat Men in Black 1. Lon Chaney was very good at the whole George, blah, 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 blah. Like, again, that idea of a gentle giant kind of translates like all throughout Lon Chaney Jr.'s career. Like even when he was playing like the Frankenstein's monster, it's this idea that he's gonna like wreck all these villagers, but at the same time like
he's got a heart of gold.
He's gonna like he just wants to be friends with this little girl and just wants her brain and his body. And is that too much to ask? I don't think that it is. Certainly the monster doesn't think so in that movie, because he's pointing to her brain and pointing to his brain, trying to tell the doctor, this is what I want. I don't want Igor's brain. I don't want your friend's brain that I killed. I want this little girl's brain. And of course, the monster got screwed, and Lon Chaney Jr. is very good at playing pathos. So we're gonna get into the exciting middle of Spider Baby. If Fresh, you have it queued up.
I do.
All right, then here we go.
Now, ladies, this is your Auntie Emily and your Uncle Peter. Elizabeth and Virginia.
I think every time I see that guy's mustache, it's a
Two
little
pretty names for two such pretty young ladies. Miss
Anne.
Anne. Ralph. Where's Ralph?
Ralph. Ralph.
Virginia.
Ralph. 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 Ralph.
He's all right, Emily. He's just a big kid.
Yes, it's like you say, sir. He's just a big kid.
Lon Chaney is just a single father.
See
He's
here,
trying his
Bruno.
best.
You don't seem to
Just
realize
trying
just
to
how
get by.
serious all this
He's just
is.
trying to do right by these
Now,
kids.
these
Exactly.
children
So right.
are obviously in need of qualified professional care, wouldn't you say?
He's a working class
There's a great deal in
limousine
what you
driver.
say, sir. But I gave their father a solemn oath that I'd never allow
Why, it
their
was really weird when
unfortunate
he played
malady to
Dracula.
become the object of public scrutiny.
Not good
Nonsense.
playing European.
The days when we hid our insane behind walls of shame went out with that old car of yours.
They're talking about us, Virginia. I know.
But, Mr. Shocker, an oath to a dying man, that can't be taken lightly.
Now, Bruno, what do you mean by malady? I mean, well, I've seen backward kids. Is it?
Well, no, it's more than a retardation. It's sort of a regression, a progressive deterioration of the mental faculties, a rotting of the brain, so to speak. It begins in late childhood and progresses rapidly, ultimately resulting in physical deformity, rather like the last stages of paresis.
Really that bad?
Don't know what that is.
Yes, the Mary family, or at least this branch of them, have been afflicted for generations. And I'm sorry to say, sir, I think this is the last generation.
What a shame. Bruno, you mean all three of these?
Yes, the unfortunate result of inbreeding.
Never mind that now, Bruno. We can go into all that at the proper time.
Not quite a yikes, but still.
Let's see. Yes. I would like to know the whereabouts of certain other members of the Murray family. The two sisters of Titus W. Murray and brother named, I believe, Nedrick Murray, if alive.
Alive? Well, you might say so, sir.
Come on, Bruno. Don't beat around the bush. Are they around or not?
They're talking about Uncle Ned. I know.
Well, it became necessary to put them in a more private sort of an institution.
My good man. Are you saying that the family chauffeur has been in sole charge of this entire estate and these minor children?
Oh, I never thought of it that way, sir. You see, I promised the master that...
Yeah, we know all about that. Listen, Schlocker, it's been a long trip. I'd like to get cleaned up.
Shut the fuck up.
For a while. We can go through this after dinner.
Dinner?
Yes, it is dinner time. Matter of fact, Bruno, we intend to spend the night.
Oh, no, sir. That's quite impossible. Why, we're not prepared for guests.
There seems to be a difference of opinion as to who is the guest and who the host here. You do have food in the house, don't you?
Why, yes. You see, our diet is very austere. I suppose we could find something.
What?
Yes, I suppose we could. Uh-huh.
That seems normal. I don't see any problem with it.
I smell a bug.
So creepy.
It is very
Big,
creepy.
black, juicy.
The perspective on this shot makes him look like he's a giant.
I'm proud of you, Virginia. You're doing so well.
Ralph
You
is
haven't
ready
killed
for
anyone in 12
Oh,
hours.
thank you, Elizabeth. Bring him right down.
This is a new record, Virginia.
So I just love how like positive he is in the face of how.
My dear, there's no
fucked
doubt in my
up
mind that
all
we
this
have
is.
here an absolutely clear-cut, prima facie, open and shut case.
Great. Now, all I want to know is what is it worth in
Man,
dollars
this
per
dumbwaiter
pound?
reeks.
Well, that's a little difficult to tell.
What is this, chocolate syrup?
Perhaps with an audit. Miss Morris, give me schedule.
Tastes
B.
like pennies.
All right here, Mr. Schlager.
Of course, this is only the visible part of the iceberg.
I love that you would
With more
see some
information,
fluid in the
we can
dumbwaiter
check
and then you would try to taste it.
Hi,
What's
Ralph.
jam?
Emily, look at Ralph. He's getting all dressed up for us.
Well, yes, isn't he cute?
Howdy.
Did
Dear
anyone
God.
else? Did anyone else like read about dumbwaiters as a kid and kind of
Ladies
low-key
and
wish you
gentlemen,
had one so you
Dinner is
could
served.
do dumbwaiter shenanigans?
I knew about him from.
Yeah.
Thank you, Virginia.
Yeah, as a kid, you wish we had one.
Good, Virginia.
The first time I saw one in a movie, I was like, that is so fucking cool. I would play on that all day.
I knew about it from Young Frankenstein because
hungry,
they
she'll
make
go
a
looking
joke
for
about a
something to eat.
dumbwaiter. And
In that case,
what is a dumbwaiter? And then when I found out, I was just like, man, that'd be really cool to have.
Hungry, Miss Morris?
Oh, yes. I'm famished.
Shall we then?
well, there we are. Just sit wherever you like. We're not very formal here at Mary House. We haven't had guests in a long time. No, it's been a long, long time.
Why are there like weeds
I
on the
might add
table?
that It's a great
We'll
pleasure.
see.
Okay.
You can sit down now, Ralph.
He put on his fancy outfit for this.
His little Lord Fauntleroy outfit.
Winifred. Winifred.
That's the Cobweb Hotel.
It is the Cobweb Hotel. Holy shit.
Oh, I hate this.
there's
Oh,
the-
I'm not a fan of this.
Oh, it's the
Ah.
spider. Oh, it's spider babies.
Barney, you came back.
She can tell them apart. What the
You
fuck?
didn't tell me.
You can tell by their personalities.
We're waiting for you.
You really got to get to know him.
Sit in your chair, Virginia, please.
He's trying so hard to hold this together.
He
I love
really
it.
is. Yeah, this is.
This whole situation is just.
Hold
Oh my god. What is it?
What is that?
I think that's the cat.
Well, that's Rabbit. Obviously. Not bad, Bruno. Looks done to a turn.
Thank you, sir. I hope you enjoy it. You know, we're very fortunate to have meat for our guests. You see, we're vegetarians.
Vegetarians?
It's dead. We don't eat dead things.
Good Lord, man. Why on
The
earth?
master.
Don't say it. You made a promise.
It was no idle whim, I assure you. The master knew of the grave danger.
The danger?
Yes, Bruno. What is that supposed to mean?
Well, the master believed, and he should know, that the eating of flesh would hasten the progress of their condition.
Ralph's about to bust a nut, dude.
No, I've heard it.
Wait a minute, Bruno. Now, you mean like that old story about the lion cub who's actually tamed until he gets his first taste of fresh meat, right?
I'm afraid
Once
it's
you let
even
these
more
kids
serious
get
than
a
that,
taste
sir.
of cat, all bets are
Oh,
off.
hell's gonna break.
Well,
Then they won't eat anything else.
whatever that is.
You're just gonna want more
Rabbit or
cat.
whatever. I pass.
Well, it looks good to me. Hey, I'll
I'm
carve.
going in.
Hey, I'll carve.
Thank you, sir. Carry on. Oh, and I must tell you all, you have Ralph here to thank for providing it.
Is that right? Good for you, Ralph.
I'll have something else.
Thank you.
What do you call these?
What the fuck?
A rare treat. Our favorite dish. We call it souffled fungi.
What?
Mushroom schlocker.
Oh, mushrooms.
Yes, a real staple. They grow profusely on the grounds.
And did Ralph?
Oh, no. Virginia provided these. You see, she has an uncanny knack for picking only the non-poisonous one.
Come on, Schlocker, let's not hog this stuff.
This guy's such a
Adventurous
dumbass.
eaters.
Thank you, Uncle
He said, yeah, I'll take some. Hand it here.
He said non-poisonous.
Thank you, Uncle
This guy
Peter.
played Uncle
Hey, Schlocker, you
Peter
certainly
Quinn
kept it up
Redeker.
polite.
He was actually nominated for an Academy Award for Best Story or Best Writing.
Wow.
For The Deer
Well, Miss
Hunter,
Howe,
which was a Vietnam
if you don't
War
feel up to the heavier
Vietnam
fare,
movie from
perhaps
the
you'd like to
70s,
try
late
some of our
70s.
fresh
Or
garden greens?
79, I think.
Yeah, Emily.
Well,
Yeah. Try the salad.
Yeah, future Oscar nominee right there.
That's a salad.
Allow me.
just some yard greens.
You want any cheese? We can bring the grater in here and give you some cheese.
Ralph, no.
Ralph, what are you doing, man? Where are your manners?
Isn't Ralph a vegetarian, too?
Oh, yes. But Ralph's allowed to eat anything that he catches.
Oh,
Kind of rude, bringing your own food to a dinner.
Emily, this is very good.
I need to just start
You don't know what you're missing.
keeping food in my backpack.
As I told you, our diet...
I'm gonna do that the next buffet I go to.
Backpack around. It's practically like a purse.
You know, that's great.
Might
I think
as well
everybody ought
just
to eat like that.
pack with food.
Oh,
Yeah,
never.
dude.
Delicacy
Just carry a backpack
but
into
they're
a
not
buffet.
seasoned
Nobody's
right
gonna
now.
say anything. And then you
Yeah, and then just open it up and start putting food on the table.
or take food back.
Oh, no,
Fill
no,
up your
sir.
backpack, dude.
You wouldn't want any of that.
No Ziploc bags, just loose food.
Oh, no. Well, I guess not.
Yep. It's just a book bag full of greasy, loose food.
What was that? Was it bugs?
Bugs, yeah. Only Virginia is eating those.
Right.
She's the spider dude.
This is basically
What do you think about
Fear
spending the
Factor.
night now? Emily?
Somebody get Joe Rogan in here.
drag me away, Peter.
Good show, my dear. I'm with you.
Oh, it's like I told you, sir. It's
Well,
absolutely...
there's nothing more to say, Bruno. Now, let's make things easy on yourself. We want to be fair.
The sisters can move in together, and you and Ralph.
Well, we might do that. Oh, no, it's quite impossible. It's too dangerous. Hey, you see, this is an old building. The wood is rotten. You'd have to know your way about in the dark.
Nonsense. The next thing you'll tell us it's haunted.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
He means they're vampires.
Oh, yes, and werewolves.
Are you a horror film fan, Miss Morse?
Oh, yes, I love it. Dracula, Frankenstein.
And The Mummy?
Oh, The Mummy. I love The Mummy.
It's getting a little
the way
meta.
he walks.
Yeah.
Early meta.
Steps
I really love Lon Chaney.
Oh, and the wolf.
And Lon Chaney Jr.
Said the Wolfman.
There's going to be a full moon tonight.
Okay.
Right. So, what is the normal chick's problem?
Mr. Schlocker.
She doesn't seem to
if you don't need me anymore,
kill anybody.
I could just as
Yeah,
well stay
come on, get with
down.
it.
There's an
Yeah, what are you doing? You're not weird enough.
As I see it, there are only 2 rooms anyway. Peter, if you took the car, do you think you could find lodgings for Miss Morris?
Yeah,
Yes,
I saw a motel coming in, yeah.
Writer-director of the movie,
Fine.
Jack Hill, was
Good
a
idea.
UCLA film student. So I
Just be
think
sure
he's
you have her
very
back on
aware
time, young
of,
man.
like,
Busy day ahead, you know.
the tropes, and
Thank you,
I think
Mr.
he was
Howe.
definitely trying
You're
to
welcome.
play on the tropes.
Children, some of
And
our
be
guests are
meta
going to
on
stay the
purpose,
night.
'cause he
Would you
was-
come help me
he was
prepare
smart.
their rooms?
He is
Yes,
smart. He's still
bring it
alive. Jack Hill is still alive. Mary Mitchell, the woman playing the secretary, is still alive. He's dead. She's dead. She's dead. All 3 of these people are dead. She was in a relationship with
lots of
Marlon
spiders.
Brando when she died, and apparently she was the love of his life.
Do you
I don't know
like
if that's
spiders,
true.
Mr. Howe?
Oh, sure, Virginia.
She
I
played
love
like
spiders.
drug addicts and hippie children
Would you like to play
and flower
spider with
children
me?
alive.
Virginia.
Then
Sure.
quit acting and
I'll
then
play spider with you.
Typecast as a weirdo.
Tomorrow?
yeah, she played. a lot
I'm
of
sorry,
movies.
Mr. Howe, that we couldn't accommodate everyone, but I'll be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Hey, me too, Bruno.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Good night, kids. Well, Miss Morris, we should be getting an early start.
I'd like that very much, Mr. Howe.
Hey.
This is the phoniest setup I've ever seen.
There is something terribly wrong here. And I intend to find out exactly what it is.
Damn. Just shove your fucking cigar down her throat, why don't you?
Exactly what it is.
Say, it's still early, Miss Morris. Perhaps you'd like to have a drink at that inn in the village that Bruno mentioned?
I'd like that very much, Mr. Howe. Oh, and maybe a sandwich if you don't mind.
I didn't get filled up enough on the tumbleweeds and
Insects.
Virginia. Virginia. Are you going to give Daddy good night? Mm-hmm. Elizabeth, are you scared? Scared of what? You know, those people. I hate. You're not supposed to hate. You should too. They don't like spiders. I know. That little man looks just like a big, fat bug, doesn't he? Yeah, he does.
It's me, your unfriendly neighborhood spider baby.
You know what I'd like to do? To really like the fun thing, Spider. Virginia. You bet. Coming to tuck you in, Daddy. Nighty night, Daddy.
Daddy. Fucking, like, Norman Bates' mom over here.
Close the screen.
It's really funny because those doors push the other way to open.
What would it take to for you guys to spend a night in Spider Baby House?
Nothing. I would do it for free.
You would do it for free?
Absolutely.
I would not be sleeping.
No, that's part of the show. You want to stay up and see what's going on, dude. What's the...
You gotta stay up and not get killed by this.
Yeah, not die.
Not get stabbed to death like the mailman. This guy does not like spiders.
Not a spider fan, you say.
But he loves rats.
But he loves rats.
Just a real rat guy.
I'm a real rat man myself.
I'm part of the Rat Pack. Oh my god. Owls are creepy as fuck, dude.
Yeah, owls are crazy.
Owls are crazy.
Hate them.
Hate them.
Oh, what's up? Hell yeah.
Now we're getting to the good part.
So apparently...
This is why it was originally called Cannibal Orgy.
Yeah, well... Yeah, you're not wrong.
Ralph.
What are you doing, Ralph? Apparently, she picked out this lingerie. She made the director take her to a specific store so she could pick out. Because she was going to have to do this scene, so she said,
Well, fair enough. Do it on your own terms.
I mean, right, exactly. I mean, again, like, definitely old dark house movie style in the way that these people are staying the night and they're just encountering all this weird shit.
Is House on Haunted Hill the first of that kind of genre?
No, honestly, it goes all the way back to the stage in the 20s. It was a very kind of popular thing that went out of vogue in the 30s and then the 50s, 60s. Again, this is a play on it. And then again, I feel like you could almost say a movie like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, is just a different kind of old dark house movie. You know, just like instead of an old dark house, scary daytime farmhouse that is terrifying. Gulp. You needed that.
So I just want to point out he's sneaking around this house, but he's blowing like cigar smoke everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they gotta know he's up.
Right. It's like Metal Gear Solid. You're gonna hear somebody down the hall go, "Pudding, whose footsteps, please?"
Box though.
Oh shit, better hop on this tiny chair. If I was Lon Chaney living in the house, I would never sleep, or I would never be able to sleep, even if I was the caretaker.
So if you guys found if you're, staying overnight in a creepy haunted house, and you find a human ear, what's your next move?
I'm probably getting the fuck out. I'm not gonna keep investigating further.
Yeah, I think that's over the line for me. I'm out.
Interesting fact about this actor playing Schlocker, who's looking around right now, this actor Carl Schanzer, he was a detective. He worked as an actual detective. Well, for a detective agency. He said, "Do you need any actors?" And they said, "Yes," at a detective agency. And so he was like tailing people and like hired to do all this stuff.
Wow.
And then he broke into movies and became friends with Jack Hill. That's why he played the poacher in those extra scenes in Dementia 13. He's the one who got his head chopped off. This was one of his last acting roles, I think. And then he did some other behind the scenes stuff. Oh no, Fresh!
I'm here for now. I think it's back. I'm good. My video never stopped. So.
Good. We don't want to lose you. We can't lose you.
We're too far in.
Okay, you're good, Fresh. You just keep us posted. You're just as strong in the chat as you are in voice. Whatever happens, Fresh. Your presence is felt far and wide.
Now see here. This won't do. This has gone quite far enough. Ladies, beyond the bounds of prudence and good taste, I don't know what you people are up to here, but I'm going to have to call in the authorities. Now, there are laws. Criminal laws, I'm No, this isn't right. There are proper procedures. Special remedy. These things can be litigated.
And that is going to take us to our second break. Figure we end with a bang right there at the second break. Certainly.
Yeah, things are getting climactic. He had his chance. He could have left.
He could have left 10 minutes ago, and he did not. And say what
I think I'm here now, guys.
Oh, I feel a presence. I feel a presence that
Can you give me a sign?
Hearing. Give us a sign that you're here with us now, Fresh.
It's like Christmas.
Can you give us a sign?
The presents.
No.
Nope, not gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do anything.
The presents.
So that was a terrible joke. Terrible.
The ghost of Christmas
I love it.
presents.
The ghost of Christmas
Damn it,
presents, and he said, "That's what happens when you don't recycle your wrapping paper." Ah ha ha ha. That's why. That's why there's a ghost of Christmas presents. He's upset. He's upset that you're wasting so much paper. That's just wasting paper.
No, we can't do inside jokes on the stream.
We can do whatever we want.
Inside
we can do
jokes
inside
can
jokes.
outside
we can
jokes.
do inside, outside.
This is true. Okay, fine.
Jokes.
That is just wasting paper.
That's just wasting paper.
I should waste a paper.
It really is. So we are 2/3 of the way through Spider Baby. What do you guys think so far? I mean, that was I guess our second murder so far, but
I'm really digging it. It's creepy. Yeah.
Yeah,
somebody knows
Hips
what we're
is on the
talking
inside
about.
jokes. He knows exactly.
That's
he
right.
remembers.
That is just wasting paper.
Those are
Yes.
those are from the prime Fickthorn quoting era. Like, we were firing on all cylinders in those days. But yes, those are inside jokes that the audience won't get. It's you just had to go to high school with us. You just don't get it.
You just had to have
you just
been
don't
there.
get it. No, it's fine. We're not gonna isolate you guys. But no, I mean, it really is. It's a quirky movie. It's very offbeat and it's strange and it's weird. And
honestly, if you hadn't told me that it was supposed to be a horror comedy, I probably wouldn't have thought it was, because it is almost playing straight the horror angle. Like, this is a creepy movie.
Well, and that's where I say I think it does better than a lot of other horror comedies, in that it is actually, there are scary moments. There are moments that are legitimately like unsettling. And a lot of horror comedies, like, again, we have seen 2 Roger Corman horror comedies. We've seen A Bucket of Blood, and we've seen Creature from the Haunted Sea, and there aren't really scenes in either of those that you could say, oh, I was legitimately scared. And here,
I don't know, when that thing came up on the boat.
I mean, yeah, it all depends on your frame of mind, but I would say that is kind of the difference between those kind of horror comedies and this one, is that this is like, those are just straight comedies. This is very smart in that, like, Roger Corman hired somebody to write those scripts or recycle those scripts, and then he directed them. Like, tonight's film is coming from one man who wrote it and directed it, and he was a film student, and he was trying to parody horror movies and certain types of horror movies. What
was his name?
Jack Hill.
Jack
He's still
Hill.
alive.
Oh, Jack Hill.
Yeah, so that's the... And so for the break, the second trailers that we're going to see tonight are from 2 Jack Hill movies, post Spider Baby, after Spider Baby, he really didn't do too many horror movies, or he didn't really at all. So he kind of transitioned in the 70s to more blaxploitation exploitation. So as a writer and director, so he's writing these and directing them. So
it's a little bit of a pivot.
Yeah, absolutely. But he is just a very creative guy, and very much coming from, again, the background of somebody that understands film and film history and the classic Hollywood, genres, and was playing on that, but realized that he was, commenting on it, that he was doing something original, that he was subverting, classic tropes. I think he is a very self-aware person. I got to see Jack Hill at a lecture in Wilmington when I was in school there, because I think he still lives there. And he's just a very interesting filmmaker. So the trailers that we're going to see, first one is for a movie called Foxy Brown, starring Pam Grier, who, have anybody seen the Quentin Tarantino movie Jackie Brown? That is a Pam Grier movie, and kind of in the style of a Jack Hill blaxploitation film. And Pam Grier's from Winston-Salem. She's a North Carolina native. There's some interesting, the fact that Jack Hill lives or had lived in Wilmington for a good little bit, and then Pam Grier, she might be living in North Carolina right now, but I know she's from North Carolina. And so
somebody track her down. We
got some interesting connections, but she did 2 movies for Jack Hill. Well, she did 3. She did a movie called The Big Dollhouse, which I was going to show the trailer for that, but I decided not to because there's way too much I would have had to edit around. There's a lot of nudity and sexual content in the trailer.
We never get to see anything good on this show.
Well, even in these 2 trailers, I've got to go ahead and give a warning. So in the trailer for Foxy Brown, I did have to bleep out. I didn't cut the word. I figured I needed to leave it intact, but I did bleep it so you don't hear it. And I put a yikes over the person's mouth, but there's an inappropriate word. Yes, boo, censorship, boo. I know, I'm a real Reagan over here. And then the second trailer is for a movie that Jack Hill did called Switchblade Sisters. Well, the re-release title was Switchblade Sisters. The trailer title that we're going to see it under is The Jezebels, because that was the name of the gang in the movie. And it's about some tough girls.
It's about some Switchblade Sisters.
There was a little bit of nudity I had to yikes. I yikesed it. I didn't edit it out. I just yiked. Because again, I'm not trying to be complete censorship. I'm not trying to ignore it like it's not there, but I'm trying to remember that maybe we have a family audience. So so we'll see. They're fun. It's very fun trailers. If you love 70s exploitation, blaxploitation, it's great. So we're going to see these 2 trailers, and then when we come back, we're going to get into the exciting conclusion of Spider Baby. So stick around. We'll be right back.
But what family?
When Foxy Brown comes to town, all the brothers gather round, 'cause she can really shake 'em down. Pam Grier, that one chick hit squad who creamed you as coffee, is back to do a job on the mob as Foxy Brown.
You tell me who you want done, and I'll do the hell out of him.
A chick with drive who don't take no jive.
That woman, she's crazy. There's no telling what she'll do.
She's sweet brown sugar with a touch of spice.
If you see a man anywhere, send him in, because I do need a man.
And murder if you don't treat her nice.
Sounds like a public menace.
Sure do.
Foxy's got guts. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I better warn you, I got a black belt in karate. And I got my black belt in bar stools.
She won't budge when she carries a grudge.
I want justice for all of them, whose lives are bought and sold, so that a few big shots can climb up on their backs.
Sister, I think what you're asking for is revenge.
So there ain't no hope for dudes who deal dope.
I swear, baby, I don't know what you're talking about.
We're gonna kill ourselves a couple of...
Have no fear. Pam Grier is here as Foxy. Foxy Brown.
Meet the Jezebels, the toughest gang of teenage girls ever to slash their way across a motion picture screen. The Jezebels. Are they young rebels fighting for survival in a decaying society? Or are they just teenage hoodlums, taking advantage of their youth to frustrate the law?
They can't hold us. We're juveniles.
First, you'll meet Lace. She's as affectionate as a scorpion, with all the loving tenderness of a buzzsaw.
Okay, you want me out? You're gonna have to fight me.
You got knocked off, right? Big deal!
If you go, it's gonna turn out bad.
Then there's Maggie, a shapely young bundle of female dynamite, ready to explode on contact.
You're a chicken. Say it!
You'll also meet the girl who earned the nickname of Bunny.
How about a little something to relax your nerves? And it's only $5.
God, come on, Superman.
And then there's the one they just call Patch.
I lost my eye for this gang, remember? We used to be tough.
They also call her the Smiling Cobra.
Shameless. Impudent woman! And from now on, that's gonna be us, the Jezebels, yeah!
The Jezebels. You'll laugh with them. You'll love with them.
Maggie? What's going on in there?
Don't try to fight with them.
Go away!
Remember, I want him alive.
The Jezebels is a story of today and maybe a little bit of tomorrow.
And we are back. So those were two Jack Hill trailers.
Two amazing trailers.
Yeah, and again, Hips made a good point that Foxy Brown is very much a inspiration for the character Foxy Cleopatra in Austin Powers and Goldmember, which if you're a child of the mid-2000s, then you vividly remember watching that movie over and over and over and over again. It was, I certainly did. And it's a fun movie. And if you don't know it, then you should check it out because it's Beyonce is Foxy Cleopatra, and she's basically sending up these roles that Pam Grier played in these Jack Hill movies, which there's another one we didn't see the trailer for called Coffee, which Coffee came before Foxy Brown, but I felt like Foxy Brown had the better trailer than Coffee. There was no narrator on the Coffee trailer, so I figured that. And then The Jezebels, aka Switchblade Sisters, which is a movie that apparently Quentin Tarantino loves.
I would believe that.
He had it re-released in the 90s, and
you think he may have borrowed any elements from that movie?
Absolutely he did. Tarantino, I don't know what it is. Yeah, let's just I'm ready. If you want to, I'm ready to start a gang. I'm ready. We'll all get switchblades. We'll start going
leather
around.
Jackets. Get some chains.
Gotta get leather jackets. It's a must. You know, we'll start intimidating people.
We'll get the chair from Snake People.
We'll get that. Okay, and okay. So I'm glad you brought. So I told Evan this during the trailer for Jezebel's Switchblade Sisters. I don't know if you saw Patch, that one character. She was sitting in this giant wicker chair, and I said to Evan, I believe that is the chair that Boris Karloff sat in his scenes for Snake People, which we watched last season.
Fairly recently.
Yeah, it was episode 9. So it was
ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago. And I'm almost 90% certain that they reused the same chair. Both of these things were shot by Jack Hill. So that's why I think there's a connection, because Jack Hill shot Boris Karloff's scenes for Snake People. He shot the Jezebels. I think he had access to the same prop department.
I think it's plausible.
And he reused this wicker chair. So if the in-deep detectives want to go and look at his chair and the chair in that trailer and compare it, I would love that. I did not do that work myself. So it would, it would be helpful, but it's still just crazy. It's pretty wild to me that,
Yeah, if anybody wants to go on the IMDb page for that movie, and there may be a spot for some trivia, you could submit that.
Which, if you follow the Instagram page, we had some trivia this week.
What was our trivia this week?
The question was, which of the following films that have appeared on the Scream stream did Jack Hill, Spider Baby director, did he not help out with?
Oh.
So it was, your choices were Dementia 13, A Bucket of Blood, what's the other one? Well, I know one is The Terror, and another one is Snake People. So of those, Snake People, Bucket of Blood, The Terror, and Dementia 13. Which one do you think, Evan?
That Jack Hill didn't help with?
Did not help with. Did not have a hand in making.
Well, I think we just said that he did help with Snake People.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we've said tonight that he helped with Dementia 13.
Yes.
So maybe Bucket of Blood?
Yes.
Hey.
Evan and Hips are correct. It was Bucket of Blood. He did.
Bucket of Blood, I was about to say it.
Ah, Fresh is back! Yay! He's alive!
Swooping right in.
Back in. Hell yes. Yes, no, you guys are right. Bucket of Blood. It was, he worked with Roger Corman, but Bucket of Blood was a little bit before Jack Hill got into Corman's fold. So he did not have anything to do with Bucket of Blood, but all those other movies we've already watched, he did. So, fun fact. Thanks for playing with the trivia this week.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a question every week. So
Yeah.
play along on that, and on Friday, you guys don't look at it until Friday. I'll ask you.
That's okay. I'll be really careful and stay off Twitter.
Stay off? Yeah, well, yes, Evan's got to be very careful.
Super careful.
He'll look at Instagram every morning unless he's really careful, but I think he'll be careful not to look at Instagram or Twitter or well, I guess this is Instagram and Twitter. Those are the main things that we're
on right
that we're
now.
active on right now. Those are our main platforms. So that was fun trivia for this week, and we're gonna be doing that every week. So check it out on our Instagram page at Scream Stream Show. We are about to get into the exciting third act of Spider Baby. So before we get into it, boys, any predictions about how this is gonna shake out?
Well, we've got 2 bodies now, I guess.
Yes, that's correct. 2 bodies.
2 bodies. That's my favorite rapper. 2 bodies.
You got 2 bodies. Well, my favorite rapper is 3 bodies, because that's what I think we're gonna get by the end of this movie.
3 bodies.
I think somebody else is not making it out of this house.
Yes.
I think we will have.
Maybe.
I think we'll end up with 5 bodies.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Very interesting.
That's the sequel to The Rapper, 3 Bodies.
5 bodies. You just skipped the 4.
Right.
Yep, 5 bodies. So we will see. We will see how many bodies is when we get into it. If Fresh, you have it queued up.
I do for now.
All right,
if
you
my
got
internet
it, man.
cooperates.
Hang in there, man. You've got it, dude. We believe in you. We believe in your internet. Is it Spectrum? Oh,
No,
sorry.
it's
I probably
Comcast.
shouldn't say that. Okay, yes, it's Comcast. All right. Okay, well, if you guys are ready to get into it,
Communist cast.
all right, then here we go.
The yikes. I just saw it.
Yeah, I don't know why I have that. The score is great. It's by Ronald Stein, who did the music for Dementia 13 and The Terror. Some really great scores. He could do scores on a budget really fast. He was really good at that.
This guy looks really good.
I always love it when...
With the cigar in his mouth.
I always love it when you see kind of the, like, continuity of, like, the director keeps the same, like, composer, whoever, like, they've got these certain people.
And now we can put him right back in his own bed.
Well, this was one of the last scores Ronald Stein did. He, like, after
Please
the 70s,
don't hate me. I didn't mean to do it. She made me do it. She made me do it.
But one of his songs is sampled in an Eminem
he was
song.
spying on
It's famous, apparently.
Well,
there
he
was
was
a
going
whole...
to tell. He was going to tell on us,
Like, I
Bruno.
don't know if there's a lawsuit or something.
I was thinking about the candy.
Yes, Elizabeth, he was.
Yes, Hips, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad that you're impressed
Don't
because
you
it is a
worry,
very good score. It's really solid.
I'm not going to hate you.
It was just this
I
one
knew
guy
this was coming
doing it all
someday.
himself. He was a genius. His
It's so
scores are some of
soon.
my favorites, and like
And you really and truly don't hate me?
his score for
I
the
promised
Haunted
your
Palace,
daddy
which
I'd
is a
never,
Roger Corman
never
movie, is
hate
one
you.
of my favorites.
You did? You gotta hate him.
Elizabeth, I told you it isn't nice to hate. Children, I've got something I want to tell you, and I want you to listen very, very carefully. A long, long time ago, I promised your daddy that I'd take care of you and Ralph forever and ever. And then came this Mr. Schlocker, and he was a nasty, mean man. He wanted to take you away where old Bruno would never see you again. But you hurt Mr. Schlocker, and he can't do that now. But soon there'll be more Mr. Schlockers, and they'll be nastier and meaner than he was, and you won't be able to hurt all them because there'll be too many of them.
They can't take me away from you, Bruno. They can't make me go away. You won't let them, will you, Bruno?
I promised your daddy I wouldn't.
I knew you wouldn't, Bruno. I'm not afraid.
Well, we didn't have much time anyway. Pretty soon, Ralph, you'll be ready to join Uncle Ned and Aunt Clara. And then you...
We want to stay here forever and ever, Bruno. With you and Ralph and Uncle Ned.
We will. I promise. Forever and ever. We will. You know, I know where there's a nice new toy that'll do a wonderful thing.
A toy?
Yes. And you can stay up late just to see it.
Can we?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's funny that he was in.
I have to go a little ways to get
now he's almost.
But it'll only take a little
while.
100%.
Please don't go away,
You're
Bruno.
100% right.
It's a
It won't take but a few minutes. And I'll be back. Now, Elizabeth, I expect you to take care of your brother and sister and see that they don't get in any trouble. Will you do that?
Oh, I will, Bruno.
You gotta give it Lon Chaney Jr. I mean...
Gotta hurry.
He's, you know...
It's a great performance.
That is his pathos is always the word that gets used with the Chaney, both the Cheneys. There's just something about their performances.
They do open in. All right, never mind.
It would have been very funny if she just pushed out.
I felt like even using the name Schlocker was like purposeful.
This fucking schlocker.
Apparently that word was gaining popularity in the early 60s again. If you go look at the... Which is really cool that Google search does that. It shows you the popularity of a word. And it got popular again around this time, so it's weird. Schlocker. And the idea of schlock is associated with bad horror movies. It's interesting.
Blocky.
How long do you guys think this movie took to shoot?
How long?
Yeah, how long?
I mean,
how many days?
I would assume. Let's go to
So, like 30 days.
What was the last bid?
30 days.
31.
12.
They shot this in 12 days.
12 days.
Wow.
Budget was, at that time, $60,000. Adjusted for inflation, that's like...
Yeah, Price is Right rules. We both fucking went over.
$575,000. $600,000 basically nowadays. But back in those days, $60,000. Nowadays, $600,000. And they said that was cheap.
Budgets always confound.
Yeah, it is way less than you'd think back then. And now you're like, if I had $600,000 to make a movie hits, what would I do? Oh my god. It would be amazing. I'd be happy to have $16,000 nowadays to make a movie.
Hey, Liz.
I'd be happy to have $6.
Hey, are you really a Wolfman fan, Anne?
Oh, yes. I think that's how every man should be. Like a wild beast.
Wow, alright.
Well, they did go drink.
No vacancy again.
Yeah, true.
That's the last one, Anne. There isn't another town for 50 miles.
I guess we shouldn't have spent all that time at the village inn.
I didn't realize how late it was getting. You lose count, they keep taking away the glasses. What was that?
I know, but I remember exactly how many.
Listen, there's nothing we can do except go back and spend the night with Emily and Schlocker.
Got it.
He's fucked up, son. On one, Chaney. Is she trying to do a jigsaw puzzle?
She's doing it really well.
Ugh. Spiders aren't supposed to eat other spiders. Cannibal spiders do. Doesn't sound like Bruno. Oh, no, it's Uncle Peter and that pretty lady. They'd come back. Virginia, you mustn't hurt anyone else. Bruno will really hate you. He will not. Anyway, I like Uncle Peter. He's not like that bad man. All the same, they'll tell on us. Would they? Would they tell? Of course they'll tell. Bruno said there'd be others, didn't he? They're coming. What'll we do? We'll have to make a plan.
What?
So crazy.
Somebody's up and about. Good.
I hope it's not that Ralph.
Oh, Ralph's just a big kid.
Do you really think so?
Sure.
Sure.
Hi, kid. Hey, it looks as if Miss Morris and I are going to have to spend the night here after all. No room at the inn, as they say.
Good evening, Uncle Peter.
It's the 60s. Drunk driving wasn't a thing.
Is Mr. Bruno about?
No, he's away.
Elizabeth looks 35 and 14 at the same time. It's kind of strange.
That's what's so, yeah, it is so odd about the whole thing.
How about Aunt Emily?
It's the way they look old but young.
She looks like a snooty Karen housewife, but also 12.
How short they look.
Yeah.
Alrighty. When does Mr. Bruno get back?
He'll be along by and by. Now, Uncle Peter, you just make yourself right at home. Virginia, dear, you may entertain Uncle Peter while I take care of the pretty lady.
Take care.
It's all right.
Wonder what
It's
that
all right.
Only two.
Take care of him.
Well, you really think so?
Sure. Listen, Emily is very easy to get along with when she's asleep.
Well, that won't be necessary. And we'll have Daddy's room. It's really very nice.
There you go. See?
We all remember what Daddy looks
Thank you,
like.
Elizabeth. You're really very kind.
Skeleton.
Well, good night.
Yeah. See you in the morning.
It's awfully nice. This way, pretty lady. I'm glad you came back. I like you.
I like you too.
You're a nice lady. I liked you right away. You're not like those others. Well, Virginia likes you too. And Ralph, we all like you. And Uncle Peter too.
You know, this does kind of remind me of House of Thousand
You'd never tell.
Yeah.
No matter
that
what
kind of
Bruno said.
twisted family angle.
You'd never
It's
tell.
Sid Haig.
I know you wouldn't.
Sid Haig is the
I
common
like you,
denominator
pretty
between
lady.
both of these.
Pretty lady.
He's the thread tying these two.
He is, but it is. You're right, 100%. Like, I think there's an inspiration on a movie like, but even Texas Chainsaw Massacre, honestly, like.
True.
I mean, I don't think that Toby Hooper. I don't know that he saw this. He probably didn't, but I feel like there's some kind of influence in that idea of this cannibal family living in this weird house, like, just preying on these innocent people.
And the big black spider goes round and round and wraps the bug all up in her spider web.
Virginia. What
Families
happened?
Families-
do pray, yes, they do.
They do.
Yes, they do.
Aha.
We can
I
all
won't
attest
tell.
to that.
All right.
All are in agreement on
How long does it take to play this game?
Yes.
Oh, we're almost done.
Oh, yeah. Ah.
There now.
Well, that is about to be a lot of what's about to happen in this little bit right
Virginia.
here. Family is cray.
Passing through.
Yeah, just pass
Hey, what's the
through. Don't
spider?
mind
What's the
us.
spider do now?
What? Oh, yes. Now the spider does a little dance. She has to tease him, torment him, and make him work so that his juice will taste better.
Virginia, I think we better play another game.
Uncle Peter, do you like that pretty lady?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you like me?
Incest.
When does Mr. Bruno come back?
Families be cray, right?
Hey, yo, families do be cray. I hate it when this
Families be
happens.
cray. Incest. Families be cray.
They taste good.
Well, that's
But I
why
guess
all
bugs
these
don't
kids
like
have this
spiders
disease
very
because
much.
of
I
incest.
like spiders. I like spiders.
I do too. Well, guess I have to sting you now.
What?
You have to what?
The what?
Mr. Schlocker. Mr. Schlocker? Hey, Schlocker!
Well, I have to go away for a minute. But I'll be right back. Don't go away, Bug.
So intimidating. Bug.
What are we gonna do with her? Ralph can't let go. What do you mean, what are we going to do with her? Don't you know you made this plan? But I didn't have enough time to finish it.
That's how I feel most of the time. I didn't have any time to finish the plan. I started it.
Uncle Ned could make her quiet. No, Bruno would be very mad. Anyway, Ralph likes her, see? We mustn't hurt her. Just make her quiet. Now, Spider's very clever. She very cleverly drains the vital juices from the bug's body. And that makes the bug stop squiggling. Would that make her stop squiggling? Help me find something sharp.
Can't get up, all this silly string is all over me.
It's just too much. When it hardens, it can't be broken. The bonds are impenetrable.
I'm just trying to be a good uncle and play along with the game.
I said, yeah, sure. But then when the incest came into it, I was like, maybe we should play a different game. It's just too far. Well, and
oh my
speaking
God.
of incest, I don't know if you guys got that, but Ralph and her had a liaison.
Just enough to make her quiet. Then Ralph can play with her better.
Emily? No, Emily, I'm in here. Where you been? For heaven's sake, give me a hand. That little fiend tied me up.
To the shape of a
I'm coming! Hold on!
Sorry, sir, I can't let you do that.
You didn't pay your booking fee for the combo hotel, so unfortunately I can't allow you to grab this thing. Pulling up in my Duesenberg. Gonna see.
Feeling unsure like Heisenberg.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, can't rap the rest of this.
And that's where we get the title.
All right,
Why did he look at the camera?
Everybody mean look for the camera. Everybody give a jam look to the camera.
That lady hurt Ralph.
Ralph will be all well very soon. I brought that wonderful surprise I promised you.
Let me see. What is it?
This is a secret surprise.
It's from the title sequence.
Yes, it is. Well, not quite.
Sir,
that you'll
I
see.
don't know how you
It's
got
that
yourself
same
into this
shot.
predicament, but I suggest
Oh, he didn't raise his eyebrows.
You'll see it. He shrugged his
Where's
shoulders.
Ann, where's Ann?
If I were you, I'd hurry, sir. I'm hurrying.
Don't rush me.
What's it gonna do, Bruno?
Well, it's going to make a big flash and go bang.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
Looky! Uncle Ned!
That was it.
Wow.
Yes, it was quite an amazing experience. But, for me anyway, a lot of good came of this. Being the only survivor, naturally I inherited the wealth of the Marys, which later turned out to be quite vast. More important than that, though, my wife. That's our daughter, Jessica.
Mommy, may I go outside now?
Well, all right, Jessica, dear. But be sure and come back into the house if it starts raining again.
Oh, I will, Mommy.
Something about making that much of a drink.
And so the Mary syndrome was extinguished forever with the family that carried it. My own branch of the family, being rather distant, we never suffered from the curse.
Not so sure.
Yeah, question mark.
Question mark.
Let's
You gotta
go.
love a good old question mark. Oh, I'd cut it off before the titles. I should have done that. Well, that was Spider Baby. And I gotta say, I mean, it is certainly kind of, you know, you have to appreciate that they're trying to do somewhat of a choice. Yeah, 10, I would say 10 out of 10 as well,
good.
Hips.
It
Yes.
felt very. It almost felt very modern.
Yeah.
For being, what did you say, 67?
Well, again, released in 67, but made in 64. Actually,
Yeah,
produced
this
in
feels
64.
way ahead of its time.
It does. Again, you can bring up House of a Thousand Corpses. You can also bring up Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the way that it really is. It's a comedy almost, but the horror that is there is like unsettling and really kind of graphic almost. And this movie just really it does go above and beyond, and I don't know, there is something about, again, we made the predictions before we got into the third act, but
yeah, how many? I guess there were quite a few bodies in the very end.
Did you expect Bruno to blow it all up?
No, I sure didn't, but I wasn't expecting a stick of dynamite.
But I think that's a cool thing. I think that speaks to kind of the uniqueness of the ending and the uniqueness of
that character specifically. That's
an
interesting character.
It definitely is, because he's wanting to do right by this family. He's wanting to do right by these kids, and he ultimately comes to the decision that the only way to do right by them is to blow them up with dynamite.
Well, to be honest, I was kind of expecting like a Of Mice and Men ending.
Well, it is.
Yeah, same.
It is. But at the end of
it wasn't a murder
Mice
suicide in A Mice and Men.
Right, he didn't.
No, this was a murder suicide.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
At the end of Mice and Men, he doesn't pull out a bundle of dynamite.
Oh yeah, that would have been.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot Lenny and then shoot himself.
Y'all right. That y'all are right. But that would have been more poetic justice, though. It's like, you know what? I can't live without Lenny. Bang, I'm dead. Oh, how are we even getting this story right now? Who's telling this? I don't get it. Hemingway, get out of here. I do. There's definitely some sympathetic qualities with the ending and with the way that they decide, all right, well, let's just blow it up. Chaney's like, this is the only way to end it for everybody in the best way possible. Let me just blow it up. Which, again,
I think what would have maybe made this, 10 out of 10 for me is if it had showed the explosion. If they had a nice model shot, the house exploding.
Yes.
That's the one thing this movie's missing.
I'll give you that. That would have definitely taken it to the next level. They didn't quite get there. Model shot would have been a lot of fun. You're 100% right, because what I thought of with this ending, what it reminded me of, especially, I don't know if Jack Hill thought of this, but like, you think about a movie like Bride of Frankenstein, where it ends with the monster realizing that the best thing to do is to just blow everybody up. The monster's like, let me just pull this random lever that destroys the castle and blows it all up. Like, he's like, I'm over it. Like, I'm done. Basically, Tommy Wiseau's it. Like, goodbye, cruel world. And it's kind of like that's what this ending reminded me of, only in Bride of Frankenstein, they have a great model shot explosion of the tower exploding. And originally, they killed Dr. Frankenstein. And then the audience was like, he should live. So they shot a bit with him living. But you can go watch Bride of Frankenstein and see him still in the castle when it's exploding and breaking down, because they have shots. That's the cool thing about that, is they have a shot from inside the castle when like the walls are coming down, and then it's all a model shot, but it's still very cool. And there's no model shot, so that was a little, that would have definitely taken it to a 10 out of 10 for sure. But
still very good.
It's a fun movie. I think that's what the first thing that I can say about it is it's all in the spirit of fun. Everybody, the documentary I watched today, everybody said that they just had a lot of fun making it. Everybody had a good time. Everybody was nice to each other. They just had fun. So I think that actually really shines through in the movie itself, and it was fun. It was definitely a fun movie. And
Wait, can you start it again? I wasn't watching.
Oh, okay. I'll go back to the beginning and we'll just start over.
Thanks.
But like that whole idea, like with Chaney's character, though, that the most fatalistic ending is the best possible ending. That's like Donnie Darko was on TV today, and when that comes on TV, I'll always watch a good bit of it.
Of course,
that's
always
essentially
make time for Donnie Darko.
That's essentially the lesson of that movie, is that like sometimes even the most destructive, worst ending is like, for Donnie Darko, it's like, hey, maybe it is better for me to just die.
Yeah.
And for like, maybe it's better for the world. Like, it's just kind of it's kind of wild when a movie can get you so invested in the characters that it gets you to the point that we're like, oh yeah, like destructive death is really the best possible outcome for everybody. That's how this is all going to be okay. Like, whether it's Donnie Darko actually getting killed by that plane, spoiler alert, or
God damn it.
Or Bruno blowing everybody up at the end of Spider Baby. It's that same, or Frankenstein's monster blowing everybody up at the end of Bride of Frankenstein. It's the same idea of, hey, maybe it's just better for all of us to just fucking die than to carry on this tragedy any longer. Like, maybe that's just drama, but it's still
what a sad message.
But that's life. But that's the point. That's life. That's real.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
That's a real message, in my opinion. Like, in my humble opinion.
You're flying high in April.
Yeah.
And you crash right down in May.
Yep. Yes.
Right.
Yes, exactly. And then you get the June gloom, and
But I know I'm gonna change that tune.
Yeah. I mean, it is
back on top.
Back on top. And
back on top in June.
And hey, no, we're at the top right now. The fall is our top time. We I hope you guys enjoyed Spider Baby. It was
we fall up.
Yes, I mean, that's my opinion. There's only up from here, and because Spider Baby's really it's a high watermark for me. I loved that movie. It's one of my favorites. So I'm really happy I got to share it with you guys tonight.
When did you first see Spider Baby? Was this one of the ones that you found in a dollar store?
No,
DVD?
actually no. I guess I read about it on Wikipedia, probably. It was around 13 or 14 that I actually saw it for the first time, and this was one of those that I burned the public domain copy on a DVD and printed off a fake label and put it in a DVD case, and because it was hard to find. You couldn't find it like in a video store. Like it was something you have to order, and back then ordering online
not as easy as it is
no,
nowadays.
not in 2010. I mean, you could do it, but like, not 14-year-old, 13.
You just had to email somebody your credit card number, and then they would charge it, and then mail it to you.
I might as well wait for it to come on TMC Underground, which I did, and I actually, honestly, the first copy of it that I technically had was. It came on Turner Classic Movies Underground, and I recorded it on VHS tape.
Sheesh.
And so I had it on VHS tape for a little bit.
Dear God.
Then I put it on. Once I found Internet Archive's copy, I put it on a recordable DVD. So, I mean, that is public domain right there. That's the beauty of it all. there are movies that are hard to find that are super obscure, but
we're keeping them alive.
Damned if you're not going to find a way to have a copy of that and enjoy it. And I certainly, I was around 13 or 14, and I enjoyed it then, and my dad enjoyed it, and he was the one that got me into horror movies, so it's something that's always been a movie that we've kind of shared together, Spider Baby, because it was just something we didn't know about until we knew about it, and we're like, this movie's hilarious. Who knew? Who knew Lon Chaney was in a good horror movie, later on in his life? Who knew? And it's very high quality. So, I mean, and there's hints of Psycho, honestly. This whole idea of roadside horror. And yes, no, Fresh, we're wrapping it up right now. I really, 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 really appreciate everybody for joining us for the season 3 premiere. It was awesome. Spider Baby was great. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Fresh.
Of course.
As always.
Thank you, everyone at home. This has been it's been a great Friday. Been a great movie.
Yes, Hips, thank you for joining us. Fresh, thank you for doing your thing as always. Evan, you have been an incomparable in-studio co-host. And
did I just get a promotion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, absolutely, dude. Of course. And I really appreciate everybody joining us tonight. You can join us on Wednesday for the Scream Stream mini shows.
The mini shows.
Yeah. Don't you know that? No, the mini shows. We're watching The Veil with Boris Karloff. It's an anthology paranormal supernatural series. It's a lot of fun. It's great. We've been enjoying it. We're going to get on episode 2 Wednesday at 9 p.m. Catch us on YouTube. Catch us on Twitch, wherever you're watching us. You can also catch us next Friday for, we were enjoying Lon Chaney tonight. And I should have had my segue long ago, but we're going to be watching Hunchback of Notre Dame next week. Fair warning, it's a silent movie, 1923. So
we get one of those every season.
We get one of them every season, and I try to get them out of the way early now. Again, I talked about the show taking on a life of its own. That's part of it. I do the silent movie early in the lineup. That way,
we've got a routine going.
Yes, I think we do, and I think it's get the silent movie out of the way early. But this is going to be a little different from the silent movies that we've watched so far. We've watched German movies up to now. This will be an American film, so it'll be the style, everything's going to be a little different. It's actually earlier too, so it'll also be different in that respect. But we're continuing the Chaney train. We got Lon Chaney Jr. this
Chaney train going.
Lon Chaney Sr. next week.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes,
see what all the buzz is about.
He's playing the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and yes, he was the. I will go into next week how big of a deal Lon Chaney Sr. was, but let me just say, he was a pretty big deal. So. We're going to get into that next week. I'm very, very excited to be bringing that to you, and it'll also be the first time I've watched that all the way through. Yes, and, speaking of Chaney trains, to what extent is Liz Cheney the caboose right now? I mean, I guess technically she is. We said that definitely Dick Cheney feeds on human flesh. That's a given. So, the Cheneys certainly fit on this train. It's spelled a little differently, but it is still a great Chaney train. I agree, Hips. So, thank you for joining us tonight. You can also check out our social pages at Scream Stream Show on Twitter, at Scream Stream Show on Instagram. Yes, we have trivia on the Instagram page. So check that out on the Twitter page. I'll be posting some other, just hot takes, my opinions about the movies that we'll be showing. And then we're also going to be trying to, show you, give you guys some other original stuff. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you can email at screamstreamshow@gmail.com. We do
we
have
would
an
love
email.
to get some viewer
mail. Yes, please. Even if it's bad viewer mail, we're ready for all the criticism. We can take it. We're ready to go. We are rearing to go. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Join us on Wednesday at 9 p.m., on Friday at 9 p.m. next week. Until then, sweet screams, everybody.
And to all, a good fright.